Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Beast Watch. Tonight we're talking about Arrow, Season 3, Episode 11, called Midnight City. Spoiler warning, if you're not familiar with Beast Watch, I do go into the full details of the episode, so if you haven't caught up on your favorite show, you might want to go and check out the latest episode, then come on back here and check out this episode of Beast Watch. With that said, let's jump into it. So we find Oliver. He's still away with Maseo. He's healing. He's still very weak. He does seem like he's getting kind of antsy to come on back to Star City and let his friends know that he's alright and he's ready to fight again, but he's not quite there yet. And Maseo actually does get into a little tiff with the League of Assassins as they come looking for Arrow. They can't find his remains. Ra's al Ghul wants to see the remains because they have a feeling he kind of got away. So Maseo kind of fakes a scar on his neck. He tells them he's got to flee now because he's going to go flee from Ra's al Ghul and give Oliver a chance to escape. Oliver tries to kind of convince him to come with him, but he insists on leaving. And that kind of comes into play a little bit later. So we find Laurel and the gang still kind of struggling to fill Oliver's shoes. They don't really know how to handle it. They're starting to accept that he's gone, but that doesn't change the fact that he was the core of their operation, and they're really having a hard time moving on and carrying out the mission that Oliver left with them. Roy's doing his best, and he's doing a good enough job. They need Arrow, they need Oliver, and it's just not really working out the way they'd hoped. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a lot more of Roy in Arsenal. I think he's an interesting enough character, and he's actually really fun to watch. He's a lot different than Arrow in his fighting style and the way he moves. It's really interesting actually because they could be considered so similar, but if you really pay attention, they actually are quite different. So we got Vinnie Jones back as the Brick tonight. He gives a solid performance. He doesn't do anything too out of the ordinary. It's a little bit more the same old. But tonight, he threatens to destroy the city if the cops don't remove themselves from the glades completely, and then he also kidnaps the city's alderman, which kind of gives the group the push they need to rally together. So Felicity kind of snaps out of it finally. She rallies the troops, and they decide that they need to carry on with Oliver's mission because it's also their home and it's also their mission. Another big thing to come out of the Felicity storyline tonight is that she does wind up giving Ray Palmer the processor he needs to finish his suits and get his tech to work. So it sounds like we might be seeing the Atom a lot more than we expected. A lot sooner than we expected, rather. So Felicity is the one who gives everybody that push. She lets them know that this fight has to continue even without Oliver. Diggle starts to come around, and they're going to try and really start rallying this situation and come back to protect the city that they love and that they consider their home. Laurel actually does prove herself. I'll tell you what, the actress who plays Laurel, I'm not a huge fan of. She kind of annoys me. I think she's a little bit of an overactor. Not as a person, I don't know her obviously, but in the show I find her to just be, she lays on a little bit thick, and I realize that, you know, the CW shows are kind of cheesy, but I really don't feel that way about anybody on The Flash. And I really don't feel that way about too many people on Arrow either. It's just her. I don't know what it is about her. She just kind of needs to pull it back a little bit. But as far as the character goes, she is growing on me. Laurel as the Black Canary tonight does go toe-to-toe with the Brick. She gets a couple of good hits in, and she kind of bursts through the window, shatters through the glass like a badass. That kind of won me over. I thought that was pretty cool, and yeah, hopefully she starts getting some training in there and really becomes more of a hero than she thought she could be. I would like to see that for one. So the two biggest things to take away from tonight is that Malcolm Merlin's been trying to leave the city, as we know. He's trying to flee and protect Thea from Ra's al Ghul's wrath, and really Ra's al Ghul's kind of just after Malcolm Merlin. What he'll do to both of them, I don't know, but he does want to get them out of there as fast as he can, and Thea convinces Malcolm Merlin to stay behind and fight. Here's where things get interesting. If we recall a few episodes back before the mid-season break, a DJ came into Verdant to work for Thea, and he kind of tries to schmooze his way in. We see him again tonight, but he's not the DJ that we know. The biggest reveal is when he radios into Maseo and finds out that Malcolm Merlin is not leaving the city. He overhears Thea talking about this, or not overhears, he pretty much straight up eavesdrops on her. And yeah, so clearly this DJ is actually an associate of the League of Shadows, the League of Assassins, Ra's al Ghul. Things are not good. Also from this, we see Maseo is in Star City, or coming to Star City, and Ra's al Ghul is also coming to Star City, so it would seem. And with Ra's al Ghul coming to Star City, I don't really think Arsenal and Black Canary are going to be enough to take him down. What this means, who's coming home, who's going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with Ra's al Ghul and protect Star City, we'll have to wait and see. But what did you guys think of the episode? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you guys come right back here after next week's episode of Arrow, because it seems like we're going to have quite the homecoming for our favorite green hooded badass himself in episode 12 of season 3. And make sure you subscribe to the Level Up Network to catch all the episodes of Beast Watch after your favorite shows. For the Level Up Network, I am, as always, the Beast NJ, and until next time, sit back, relax, and enjoy the shows.